I'm finding products to drop ship on Amazon from Zoro.com, and in the previous couple videos I did actually use the Georgia Pacific brand, and I ran that brand through this Google Sheet, which is called the Amazon Sourcer, and I was able to find some Zoro sources from those Amazon product titles. And basically, from there, I was able to then build a product list over here, extract the prices using get data. I did the shipping as free shipping under 50, $5 below 50, free shipping over 50, $5 under 50. I used the if statement, and assuming a 10% tax, which you can just enter, and a standard 15% referral fee on Amazon. It then calculates the fees, and from there it calculates the profits, right? Being that the content here is focusing on drop shipping, of course, paying attention to the fulfilled by merchant. There's no FBA fee anyway. We are just looking at the fulfilled by merchant profit to get an idea of which products could be profitable. Whether or not they actually match requires manual inspection to see if the products are actually matching. All right, so this is basically the process that I've been following. I'm going to, of course, do it again in detail with some other brands. But the way that I'm going to go about choosing a brand is going to be different. Previously, I just went to this brands page on Zoro, which is linked at the bottom of Zoro.com under brands. And I was just sort of choosing brands randomly, searching them on Amazon, and then, looking to see what product results I'd get. This time, I'm going to focus more on sellers. So, in other words, well, first of all, what I'm going to do is try to locate sellers rather, who are drop shipping from Zoro onto Amazon, right? And the quickest way I can think of to do that is to use the Zoro Select brand, which is a private brand of Zoro, right? So that way, when I search this brand, or when I see someone selling this brand, I know that they sell Zoro products, right? So I type in Zoro Select, and some of the products will be Zoro Select and some will not be Zoro Select. Some of these sellers might be drop shipping, some might not be. But, for instance, I'll click on this product and we see that it is this is someone who's drop shipping, ships from and sold by the same seller. They could actually just be shipping it in a box as well. Fulfilled by merchant doesn't have to be drop shipping, but there's a good chance they might be drop shipping, right? Either way, when I go into their store, I'm going to see more products, okay, by going to see all products down here. I'm going to be able to see all the different products that they are selling. And now typical sniping is going to say, okay, just take all these products and try to reverse search them back to Zoro, right? And of course, doing that manually takes a long time. And, of course, you've also got source and software that works with Zoro that can reverse search these products, right, back to Zoro automatically. Like OA Genius can just scan the page and do it, right? But I'm not using source and software, right? That's kind of the idea here. I'm using a Google Sheet that basically will search the product titles and try to find sources, right? So the thing is that I'm more looking for a way that I can kind of unlock some different choices. So, for instance, looking at Masterlock, right? I'll open that in a new tab. This is a brand that I know already that's familiar to me, Masterlock. And I'm just going to open it. It doesn't have to be familiar, by the way, but it just attracted me, right? So Masterlock, black set your own combination. Now, I'm not really focusing so much on the product too much, but more the brand, right? The fact that it's Masterlock brand. And so what I'll do, for one, I'll take the brand. See, again, and I want to make sure I get the concept across. The seller, he was selling Zoro Select, so we expect that he's got more Zoro products to sell. And if you look at these products, and if you know what type of products Zoro sells, which are industrial, he's clearly drop shipping these products from Zoro, right? They're clearly from Zoro. If you go to page 2, clearly these products are Zoro products, right? So this is a good place to find some potential products. Now, if you wanted to, scan this whole store and just try to snipe it, you could do that. But I'm focusing on grabbing some brands from here, right? So this is like brand sniping, right? So I'm going to try this Master Lock brand, paste it in here, and just search Master Lock on Amazon, and basically see what I get. And I get a lot of what I like, as opposed to Zoro Select, where it was kind of like you had some products with the brand and some without. All these products seem to have the brand. Oh, here's some that don't have the brand on it. What I mean is the brand is not, let's see. But no, mostly they're okay. Yeah. No, these are mostly okay. Okay. I really prefer if it has the brand here separate from the title. It has to do with the scraping of the page. When I use Instant Data Scraper to download the page to a CSV, I want to make sure it has a brand and a title column that, consistently across the products. That'll make more sense once you see me once we actually do that step. But basically, I don't want to make it too confusing. The point right now is that we see Master Lock over and over again repeatedly. That's good. That's what I want to see in the search results. And if I go to other pages, I'll probably see Master Lock again, showing that they do have numerous products of the brand. Now, I'm assuming it's from Zoro for the reason I stated before, but for verification, using the brands list here on Zoro, I do see the Master Lock brand is here. And if I were to click this brand, in fact, I'll just do it. Then I get to see what's happening with the Master Lock brand on Zoro itself. It's got 1,000 plus items. You've got 1,000 plus items on Zoro of this Master Lock brand, right? So there's no shortage of Master Lock on Zoro, and apparently there's no shortage of Master Lock on Amazon either. All right, so I think this is a good brand for me to have sniped. Now, again, before I use a Google Sheet and start running automated stuff, I like to do some manual inspection, because manual inspection is what's going to tell you, or give you a certain understanding of what's happening, right? So I'm going to open up a product here. Again, I'm paying attention to who's selling it, all right? It ships from Amazon and it's sold by a Japan import store. Okay, that's okay. I'm just looking, just want to see what's happening. Who's selling this stuff. And mainly I'm trying to see if it's like fulfilled by merchant, fulfilled by Amazon, sold by Amazon. I'd rather see that people are drop shipping it and potentially just using the same supplier that I'm trying to use, because it means that they're, I can compete better if we're all like buying it from Zoro, basically, right? And trying to sell it, right? If we're all getting it for the same price. So I'm just trying to get an idea. Okay, I'm not sure what just happened there with that connectivity thing. So let me try opening this product. See what happens. Site can't be reached. Amazon took too long to respond. Amazon was just giving me a problem before as well. So I'll just kind of skip that step. It's not like totally necessary. And I'll just go ahead and use Instant Data Scraper. And what I'm going to do is pull the products off this page, right? Now, basically I'm going to get the products into here. I have a fresh copy. I want to make sure this isn't going to be confusing. Let me use this YouTube to kind of separate things. This is a blank copy of the Amazon Sourcer Google Sheet, and this is what we will use right now. Okay. Now, by the way, if you want to pause the video, download a copy of this Google Sheet, and then come back, you can do that. I have this copy. You can download it. And so that you can actually use the Google Sheet source products, or if you already have it, then you already have it. And under IDS CSV, basically I'm going to, so IDS CSV, this is a sheet tab where I'm going to actually put the product data so that it can get sourced. So, first step is to get this product data off of Amazon, so I'll use Instant Data Scraper. And that will pull the products this way into this kind of spreadsheet format. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and I'll expand this so you can really see like the whole thing. And you see the prices over here, off screen. You see the URLs over here, right? And you see you should have let's see. There are basically three things you need: the URLs, titles, and prices. Right? And typically, I mean, it's going to pretty much scrape whatever's on the screen. And here are some titles. It's a bit, messy. Some of the links that get scraped are not really like product links. Maybe they're ad stuff or whatever, but that's fine. We just go ahead and take everything, right? And we just download it. Now, what I'm going to do is locate, before I do that, sorry. I forgot to mention, we need to locate the next button by clicking that, and then let me just go ahead and scroll to the bottom, click next, tell an instant data scraper, I have an extra window, where to click the next button, click start crawling, and hopefully it should turn the pages and get me some more product results from the master lock. Search results, so let's see, pages, 1 scraped page, 2 pages scraped, and it should just keep turning the page. Hopefully I'll get if it does stop and it hasn't scraped all the pages, I mean, you could always start it up again off of another page. Like, let's say it stops at page 4. Well, you could just go to page 4 and do the whole process again and just download another CSV. But I mean, then you'd have to append it and all that. So I'd like if I can just get a few pages here all at once. All right, that's the goal. So hopefully it will just keep turning the pages all the way through to page 7. All right. Okay. I think that's it. So what I'll do now is download the CSV. And so I've downloaded the products to a CSV. All right, now let me go over to the sourcer and import these. File, import, upload, browse, and Amazon 28. That's the last one that I downloaded. The one I just downloaded. Make sure to select replace current, not replace spreadsheet. Replace current sheet, import data, and we'll just bring that in. Okay, so here we go. Now the product data is in here. Now, again, there's a bunch of stuff that's going to get scraped, like a whole bunch of stuff just scraped off the page because it's not designed specifically for Amazon. These are product titles. We have some titles here. We have some prices and all of that. It's a little confusing. You don't have to copy and paste. What's going to happen is I have it already set up with a columns map where it's going to look for these columns, like this column for the URLs, a link, normal, href, and all that, right? This one for titles, a size base plus, a off screen for prices, and it'll just copy them over. So all I have to do is select the map, IDS Amazon search, which is already here, and just click copy IDS data, and that'll just copy hopefully will copy the URLs, titles, and prices into the right place. Now I do see some brand, somewhere it's just the brand name. So I'm afraid some of these products, and that's why I wanted to see that the brand. Okay, let me go back and remind you what I'm thinking about. I did not like that some of these products did not have the brand. See how these have the brand in bold, master lock? See how this is master lock but doesn't actually have that master lock? It messes with the columns, right? It messes with the consistency. So unfortunately, products like that, they don't have the right title on them. Some products don't have it causes things to get misaligned. And wow, there are a lot of them that are misaligned that way. So in this case, what I might want to do is more of a manual copy. Okay, so what I'm going to do is go over here and kind of see what happened here, right? This is what it should have been copying. So actually, I see what it is. Okay. It looks like I have way more product titles in this column than I had in the other column. So what I'm going to do is have to use this column for the titles. A size, base plus 2. And sorry it got this complicated, but it usually isn't. But okay, so take a size, base plus 2, and just paste it as the titles. Okay, that's the titles column, right? For this CSV. I need to change that titles column. And then I'll go over to back to the sourcing sheet, and I'll go ahead and copy IDS data again and see if it, yeah. So now we have more titles. Okay. As you can see, we have a lot more titles filled in here. So this is much better. Okay. And what I'll do is click get ASINs. And what that will do is basically, put the ASINs from some of the links. Okay, the good URLs will have ASINs, the bad URLs won't. So we'll see that fill in. And let's see. Okay, I'm wondering now. Oh, it's trying to connect. Okay, so sometimes Google Sheets does this, and just might be. Oh, okay. Here it is, filling in. Okay, so you see a bunch of ASINs that are starting to fill in here. And it might be a bit hard to see here. But wow, okay. Okay, well, undo that. All right, let me put this back. Okay, so what I'll do is select this column, format, wrap in, and clip. Okay, I just want to clip that URL because it's just too it's too hard to see the ASINs. Okay, so now you can more clearly see that on some of these we have ASINs and others we don't. All right, and that's fine as long as we have a lot of ASINs. Okay, finally we can start sourcing these. Now, if you've not done this before, I know you might be thinking, oh, it's so complicated and all of that. It's really, I mean, basically all I just did was pull product data off the Amazon page with a Chrome extension, import the data into this Google Sheet, and then just put the data in to the sheet by clicking copy. All right, that's basically what I did. Okay, there were just a few little things that happened in between. Now I want to find sources of the products. So I'll go to Amazon Scraper Sourcer, menu item, top, start sourcing. And let me just start sourcing. Now I've already got it set to Zoro. So this is meant by default for those who, if you're new to this, by default, the system will source to all kinds of, a whole bunch of suppliers. But because I only am interested in Zoro, I set targeted search to yes. I'm targeting a particular supplier or a group of suppliers, in this case one. And then on this target supplier sheet over here, you have to type in Zoro.com under target suppliers, which could be one or more. And that way it only tries to look at Zoro, okay? Now you'll see that Zoro is populated, right? You see that Zoro is getting populated here on these results. And, it'll take some time. Being that Google Sheets uses URL fetch app, it can't be too fast because then it'll go over the rate limit. So hence it takes its time. I made it slower, right? It has to, so you don't go over the rate limit and get kicked off of the process. So it'll take its time and find some potential sources. It's up to 10 sources, and obviously, a lot of these are not really going to be matches, but it's just kind of search engines and taking whatever it gets. That's pretty much what it does. I don't see, I'm not sure, but I don't really see, let's see, master lock in these titles and the brand name. So I might have done well. Maybe I should have mapped the brand. Wow. Yeah, the CSV was a bit messy. but I'm going to try my best with it to see what I get. I might need to build, I might need either another Chrome extension that's designed better for like Amazon titles and prices at the same time, because there's ASIN Fetcher, but it doesn't get the titles. It, might need something that is can more consistently scrape and get these Amazon data, in a more consistent way and not pull all these extra links and things like that. So I'll have to see about that. But for right now, I'll just continue the process. And as you're building sources, it's, kind of hard to navigate this way horizontally when you want price data and all that. So what I'll do is start to generate a product list. In fact, I'll leave that for the next segment because, in fact, I think I'll leave that for the next segment. What I'll do is I'll just look at some results and see what I'm getting. Okay, before I, do anything more with the system, because then I spend, potentially so much time explaining the system that we don't even get to like see what we're getting. So let's see if we're getting anything here that makes sense. Okay. Luckily, I do have some previews here, so that kind of helps me right away. I'm looking for master lock. So, okay, that padlocks. So, I mean, the title that pops up here tells me something as well. It's a Magnum heavy duty outdoor padlock with key. I mean, the titles could be different at the supplier, but I do also have the images potentially as a preview. So whether or not any of these match, I don't know. They don't look like it at a glance. Okay, they don't seem to match. So let me try this. I'm on a different row now. I'll see if any of these. Okay. Now, by the way, I used a very low match accuracy, minimum. And that means it's just going to kind of spit out whatever it finds when it searches the product title. So that has something to do with it. So maybe I might want to do this. Okay, what I'm going to do is actually, well, first of all, cancel that process. Clear the sources. And I'm going to set a higher minimum. Now you might say, well, why not just use 100% all the time? Well, because it's not a perfect thing. And so it takes the titles and compares it to the URL. Because URLs do often have words in them, and it kind of compares the words. But if you put it too high, if you always use 100%, it's going to be too picky. Right? It's always looking for like this perfect, and words don't always match it perfectly. So then you'll kind of like be leaving out too many products. But then when you put it too low, when you put it to 0, and it depends on the situation, but when you put it to 0, it's not picky enough. In this case, it's just giving me too much that is too different. Right? So, I mean, I'll try like, I'm going to try, I'm just going to go for it for like 50%, like halfway through. And I'll go back to start sourcing again. It's going to get less sources now because I'm using a higher minimum. So it's going to be a bit more picky. It's going to really look to see if it sees any of those words showing up inside of the Zoro URLs. And if it doesn't see at least half, 50%, half of them in there, then it's just not going to find a source, okay? So 50% might even be higher than that. 50% might even be higher than necessary. But let's see what we get. I mean, it doesn't mean every single thing's going to match either, but it at least improves the chances. So again, I'll kind of wait for this. Now, the technology for this being imperfect and then, having this high accuracy, meaning less things are going to be matched. Really and truly, I think the best way that things can be searched would be on the actual website where you're trying to get the results from. So if I were searching these on Zoro, it would be a lot better than using the search engines that this is using. Right? So that's, kind of the thing. But right now, as far as what I know how to do, and the technology I have access to and can afford to use right now, it's just no cost. So the way that I am pulling this data right now costs nothing. Right? It's just taking Bing, Yahoo, search engines like that, searching the product titles. Google doesn't allow you to search through Google. Right? So this is just using those free search engines to get results. Right? But we can also use browser automation as well, potentially. Right? But then it's a lot more programming to that specific website. So I could use browser automation to search them on Zoro directly. I mean, if we're just really trying to find results on Zoro, that is something to consider as well for the future, instead of using this, in case it's going to give us difficulty. Now, what I can do is I'll try a lower match accuracy, and I'll clear the sources so it starts at the top, and I'll try again to see if I get that. To me, it wasn't enough sources, so I'm going to use 30%, a lower match accuracy, to see what I can find. And yeah, and it could also be the titles. Perhaps the titles that we're getting are just not quite doing it. So the titles have something to do with that. Let me see as well. So this is kind of going back to some of the results, at least on this product, that weren't really the same. Yeah, it's having a tough time with these. So, I really think a big part of it is the actual scraping of the product titles and how those got here. Let's see. I think that's really part of it. So let me see. American. We're just trying to get an idea. 5T. Yeah, I mean, and images can be different. I can't always just go by images, but if you're trying to kind of find something quickly, like right now, while recording a video, for instance, then right, I don't necessarily have time to scrutinize a lot of things right now. Okay, so these look okay. These look similar, right? So let me see. It looks like I've got some results here that are a bit more similar. And here's Masterlock 40TRI, but that's shipped and sold by Amazon, which I kind of don't like to see, because I'm looking more for drop shipping. Is this Masterlock brand? It is. And yeah, again, let me look at that image. Okay, that looks similar. Okay, let me open this one and see what it looks like. I don't know. These are, yeah, I mean, the image shows master number 10, so no, these are not exact matches. All right, so some of these are not matching up. I'll take a look at some others here and just see what's happening here. Yeah. One thing I'd like to have is like some kind of image comparison, and I did do it. I did experiment with that for a little, adding ChatGPT into Google Sheets, but the problem is that it's, all those things are limited. They only let you do but so many comparisons. So even if I pull image data from suppliers and I pull image URLs from Amazon, which I believe I have in the, from Instant Data Scraper, I could use AI and tell it, hey, compare these images from these image URLs. Tell me if they're the same product or how close they are. But you know, it's always limited as to how many times you can do it. And that would really help a lot too. So anyway, I mean, it looks like, I don't know, I'm having a tough time, I think, this time with this finding, at least, you know, in a short amount of time, finding some matches. But there are more products to go. So I'll see what happens. I'm just going to let it run, but there's really no point in just recording that. So what I'll do is I'll just stop the video here, let it keep going, see what comes up, and then I'll generate a products list, which I'll just show you what that is, where you click generate products list, and then, which is a button, and when you go here, you'll see product list. It'll start to populate a product list, separating the sources and the titles, you know. But let's see. Oh, first of all, reset the products list. Reset it first, and then we'll generate it. Okay, that's the next step. Anyway, rather than doing that, I'm just gonna let it keep sourcing. What I'll do is there's another option, which is automate continue sourcing. When you turn this on, it will keep sourcing, continue sourcing every 30 minutes. I'll come back, see what results the sheet gets, see if I start to see any matches that are a bit closer as it goes down, and if anything, I'll come back with a follow-up video to see what results I get. Check the description of this video for links as I'm testing these to see what's happening with these systems today. I've had these Google Sheets for a number of years at this point, and I'm kind of retesting them on some different situations to see how they work with some different suppliers, see how well it's able to match different brands and things like that. And so I do have direct links to these Google Sheets, like the actual sheet that's in front of me now, where you can go and look through the results yourself on a view sheet. And then if you want like an actual blank copy of the system, that a working copy that you can use to actually source products the way I'm doing in this video, then you'll have to actually download a copy of the Google Sheet. Okay, you do it by email and it gets sent to you by email. Okay, that's how it works. You go to the page, you know, and you get it there. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Just check the description of the video, and you'll see everything there that you need. This should also be part of a playlist. So there should be a link going back to like whatever video, say, preceded this video. And so you can always go back and look at previous videos, and if you can access the overall list, then you can always, like, you know, go through the list and see what's happening, you know, in this particular series. So that's about it. I'm just going to leave it here, let it keep sourcing again, and I'll see if it finds anything. Sometimes you do a brand and it works out. Sometimes I do a brand scrape, I find products. Sometimes I don't. There's no guarantees here. And so that's basically how the process works. So anyway, that's it. I'm Mr. Mark, and I'll see you around in another video.